Volatile trade ahead of the FOMC meeting outcome tomorrow. Consumer durables and capital goods eke out gains while IT and FMCG drag.
After Jio announced new postpaid plans to draw customers, Bharti Airtel too has launched new lower price plans to pull cost-conscious customers and migrate some prepaid users. VI could hurt most from these moves.
HDFC AMC rallies after GQG partner sells its stake. PVR 2 perks up on Warburg Pincus making an exit, while UTI AMC gains after PPFAS buys a large block.
Sterling and Wilson Renewables, J. Kumar Infra Projects and PNC Infratech gain on winning fresh orders as the flow of contracts to power and infrastructure sector continues.
And GQG partner CEO Rajiv Jain tells CNBC-TV18 that it would be a mistake for Adani to stop growing over investors' debt concerns. He says that their Adani investments are based on a risk-reward assessment and he doesn't see a contagion risk in the US banking crisis. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Lunch and I'm Nisha Podar, and with me as always is my co-anchor Pavitra Parekh. And yes, markets are in the green today, Pavitra, and it is but still, it's going to be the tentative trajectory for this particular week ahead of the FOMC meet on March 22nd. And it's also very important because we'll have to know whether the banking contagion that we have seen in Credit Suisse and many others, has that really changed the stance for FOMC, or is it going to go ahead with the same path or may have just tempered the interest rate hike? So that's going to be a very big signal that the markets are watching out for. But at least there is relief in our markets today, and Nifty 50 opened above 17,000 levels and in a very tight range has sustained above that. At the moment, at the high point of the trading session today, 100 points up on Nifty 50. Bank Nifty is the one which is giving a lot of might and strength to the market, and Nifty 50 as well. But what's really doing well is Reliance Industries. It snaps a few days of losing streak which has underperformed Nifty so far. Year to date is now coming back with a gusto. Advances higher than the declines today, Pavitra.
Oh, absolutely. You know, like you said today, this kind of relief pullback that we're seeing, I mean, we'll just take it with both hands, right? Of course, there's a big queue waiting for us. We are going to have to grapple with that. But for now, it's much better than we've seen in the past few days. Some of the life insurance companies doing well in addition to Reliance. So we'll have those up on your screen. The financials holding up well. It is the large cap private banks which are, you know, doing well today. So something like an HDFC, IndusInd, Axis, you know, some of them are up on your screen. These ones holding up quite well. Some of the smaller banks as well, right? So take a look at Bank of Baroda, for instance. That one is seeing a good gain. It's up 2.5%. IDBI Bank up almost 4%. So quite good over there. On the downside, it is really FMCG and some of the tech names which continue to languish. So that's what's really happening as far as the market action goes. But let's kickstart the show now by talking about big boy Reliance Industries. The stock is one of the top gainers on the Nifty today, this afternoon. And this is on the back of a very positive note that came through from CLSA. Remember, this is the third positive brokerage note on the stock, and CLSA is now saying that this is basically a bargain buy at this point. They have a target of 29.70 versus the current 22.65. So they have, you know, a 35% upside to the current price is what they're penciling in. According to CLSA, the big triggers really that come through in 2024 are the launch of the 5G smartphone, $25 billion investment for the same for their 5G foray, the possibility of either a Jio or retail IPO. That'll be a big trigger as well, and a $10 billion capex plan for the new energy foray. On the back of all of this, Nisha, I'm really calling Reliance a bargain buy at this point.
That's right, and Reliance has, remember, year to date in this particular quarter has underperformed Nifty 50 and was falling with a lot more speed than the overall market. So now today it's coming back with a gusto, reinforcing the confidence some of those brokerage notes, and also value unlocking that we could see in both Jio as well as in retail going forward from the company. Moving on then, the NCLT has approved the merger of HDFC into HDFC Bank in what will be the biggest ever amalgamation in Indian corporate history. So earlier today, we spoke to KK Mistry, who's the Vice Chairman and CEO of HDFC. Listen into the way forward that he is elaborating on.
The approvals, some of the approvals came faster than we expected. So we are absolutely on track. And my sense is that sometime towards the latter part of June or probably July is the time when the merger will get completed in all respects.
All right, that is the word coming in from KK Mystery, but some more corporate opinion that we're tracking. Rajiv Jain of GQG Partners, who invested nearly $2 billion into the Adani Group, does not want the conglomerate to stop on its growth trajectory. Speaking exclusively to us, he said that he does not want them to change anything in order to please the market. Listen in.
So our view is that they need to keep pushing for growth while managing the debt level, which I think they've already done that. I mean, they announced some of the shelving of the project, so on and so forth. So I think it'll be a little more manageable from the debt perspective, although we are not concerned as at the current point from a debt side. But I think the objective is to keep growing. Look, I think it'll be a mistake to slow down to get the debt levels down. I think these businesses are supposed to be levered. That's the model. So debt has to be in a sort of in a measured way. However, our view is that don't change anything to please the markets.
All right, Rajiv Jain of GQG speaking to CNBC TV18. Now with that, we'll slip into a short breather. But remember, there was a freak rain in some parts of the country. So we'll next get you the latest on the unseasonal rains that are severely damaging the crops across India. Stay tuned for that.
Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch here on CNBC TV18, and an important story that we're seeing on the weather conditions here in India. Unseasonal rain and hailstorm have created a havoc with heavy rainfall and thunderstorms observed in several parts of the country. So Delhi actually reported the highest 24-hour rainfall for the month of March in 3 years as rains lashed the capital city last evening. Meanwhile, Mumbai woke up to heavy rainfall this morning with more rains expected in the coming hours as well. And here on your screen are also going to be some dramatic visuals that we got from Madhya Pradesh, where areas were whitewashed with hail, causing damage to several crops. So crops spread over 4,000 hectares have been damaged in the state, with over 5,000 farmers affected so far. In Punjab, they were ready to harvest wheat crops along with fruits and vegetables, which have also been damaged. And multiple crops, including wheat, mustard and onions, were damaged in the state of Rajasthan, while 4,950 hectares have been damaged in Maharashtra's Marathwada region so far. So pretty much across the country, you are seeing the adverse impact of this rainfall really play out.
No, this is also sending out a lot of signal about the economy for this particular year, because if you are going to have other pressure points along with the agrarian economy and the rural economy not doing well, that's an important point to really keep on our radar at this point. We also spoke to IMD and private weather forecast agency SkyMet on these unseasonal weather patterns. Listen in.
This weather, prolonged weather, almost all part of India at this period when we have the, the Rabi crop, especially the wheat over Madhya Pradesh and this belt, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. So that period it is little, cause impact, but no doubt we have given, warning and monitoring from 12th of the March that this spell will be very prolonged. So that really happened. But thing is that this may be, in terms of the scale, it has covered a large part of India actually. So we are looking at the past that I don't think we get such a large area up to 4 or 5 days or 1 week like it has happened over Chhattisgarh, Telangana, and particularly Andhra Pradesh. So maybe it is maybe once in 30 years or 20 years we have to look. And because of this, you see the temperature is 6 to 8 degrees below normal over a large part of India.
This unseasonal rain has widely damaged the crops across Gujarat, particularly northern parts of Gujarat, many parts of Rajasthan due to hailstorm, strong winds and thunder shower activities, particularly Jeera, Isabgol. These crops were damaged over Rajasthan, many parts of Rajasthan. Madhya Pradesh also recorded heavy hailstorm activities, including Delhi and parts of Haryana. So all these areas have been recording unseasonal rain and intense weather activity. We can say extreme weather activities since last 4 to 5 days. These weather activities commenced by March 17 and continued until 20. Now the weather activities will subside, but there is a substantial damage to crop across many states of the country.
Right, that is the word coming in from the IMD as well as SkyMet. Even if the weather activities do sort of subside from here on, there has already been significant damage to the crops like we were pointing out. But before the unseasonal rains, what we were talking about in terms of the weather was the early onset of the summer season. And, you know, several consumer durable companies are hoping for record sales after 2 insipid years. But CNBC-TV18's Shilpa reports that experts are not so certain that the heat wave will alone translate into better business metrics. So let's take a look at this special.
Accounts, the summer of 2023 is going to be one for the books. Now, with summer setting in early, consumer durable manufacturers are expecting strong sales growth because they believe that a hotter and a longer summer will mean more demand for ACs, coolers and refrigerators. The Consumer Electronics and Appliances Manufacturers Association expects sales to come in 20% higher between March and June on average, with some players expecting as much as a 30% jump over levels seen a year ago.
It used to be peaking sometime in May last week. It started moving backwards. Nowadays, we are finding that it is advancing. The peak may happen in the April first week or March last week itself. Now, in terms of demand, I am talking about the growth this year will be around 25% in terms of demand. That's what I estimate. And our own goal is that if the growth is 25%, we should aim for 30% growth. This is for the period March to June.
So current year, as far as domestic sales is concerned, we are again looking for highest ever historical domestic sales. And if no major accident happens in ensuing summer, then again in April to June quarter, we are looking for decent performance.
It is very rare that in the month of February, we will sell coolers, air coolers, which started selling. So definitely this time the summers seems to have arrived early, and not only early, they also seem to be a little more severe than the previous summers. And that is surely translating into sales also.
Despite commodity prices largely cooling off in the past quarter, white goods are still 15 to 17% costlier compared to 2019. But players say that in a severe summer, higher prices may not be a deterrent.
Actually, what matters the most is a decent summer. As long as there is a decent summer, other factors, including economic factors, rate of interest, inflation, actually doesn't matter.
But some experts disagree that a heat wave could automatically mean higher sales. ICICI Securities, for instance, says its channel-checked feedback has not indicated any material change in consumer offtake. Some of the factors for this could be the rise in inflation and a diffidence towards discretionary spending. Some industry analysts also say that steep competition, especially amongst AC manufacturers, could mean companies will have to rely on offers and discounts to drive sales, which could result in weak profitability. Many brands have already ruled out a price hike in the near term. But the industry is hoping for the best. Brands have already begun lining up launches and ramping up production to, pardon the pun, make hay while the sun shines. In Mumbai, Shilpa Ranipeta.
All right, India bracing up for the heat wave. Let's also get you some more news coming in on the Adani saga. And opposition leaders are protesting from the first floor of the Parliament building, demanding a joint parliamentary committee probe into the allegations against Adani Group. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha chairman has invited floor leaders of all the parties for a meeting amid continued stalemate over Rahul Gandhi's UK remarks and the Adani issue in the Parliament. Now, both houses have been adjourned till 2 p.m. today.
All right, that is an important update. But with that, we do need to get into a short break on the show for now. On the other side, we're going to bring you the latest on Chinese President Xi Jinping's 3-day visit to Moscow. So stay tuned for all of those details.
You're watching Business Lunch, and let's get straight to some international developments. And Xi Jinping is on a 3-day state visit to Moscow, and more formal talks are set to really take place today. Now, interestingly, yesterday, Russian President Putin told Xi Jinping that he respected China's proposals for a resolution of the Ukraine war.
All right, let's also bring you the latest in the Mehul Choksi case. The fugitive diamond heir is no longer on the Interpol's wanted list. The red corner notice against him was dropped based on representations by the businessman. So a spokesperson for Choksi said that evidence indicated kidnap, torture and attempted rendition by the Indian government, and the decision to delete the red notice only strengthened these concerns.
All right, away from the news, here comes a favorite part of my show today. We at News 18 Network are excited to announce the third edition of Rising India, the most anticipated thought leadership forum in the country. Now, where we bring together some of the biggest and the most prolific personalities to celebrate India's successes and the growth story. Now, the theme for this year's edition is Real Heroes, where we bring you the stories of some of the most extraordinary common people along with their uncommon achievements. Take a look at one such story.
People have always believed that it is impossible to grow vegetables in the upper region of Ladakh. Then came Urgen Funsuk, who, with his novel thought process and passion, even at a height of 14,000 feet, has proved everybody wrong.
लोग कहते थे हाँ 14,000 फीट की ऊंचाई पर तो कुछ यहाँ पे सब्जी नहीं आता है, तो पहले मैंने फूल गोभी बंद गोभी लगाना स्टार्ट किया था, तो लोग हंसते थे क्या बोल रहे हैं फूल गोभी बंद गोभी आता है बोलेगा, तो इसीलिए तो आजकल मैंने 33 टाइप्स का मैंने सब्जी ऑर्गेनिक ही उगाता हूँ जी.
Due to Urgen's efforts today, we can get fresh vegetables in the highest reaches of Ladakh.
जैसे कि मैंने आज तक ना सब्जी खरीदना पड़ता है, ना सरसों का तेल खरीदना पड़ता है जी, ना लहसुन ना प्याज, सब कुछ यहीं से मैं मगर निकाल के अपना सोच और हौसला होने से तो सब कुछ हो सकते हैं जी. मेरे से ज़्यादा अभी आने वाले बच्चों को लिए इतना अच्छा एजुकेटेड है जी, सब कुछ हो सकते हैं जी, बहुत बढ़िया हो सकता है जी.
His passion and dedication has not only won him awards, but have also gotten him a mention by the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi himself in Mann Ki Baat.